Alright guys, we are reacting to my top 5 Christopher Nolan films by Ben Shapiro. Now, I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan, and he is my favorite director of all time. And so, I think it's only fair if I give you my top 5 Christopher Nolan films. But I'm not going to tell you why, because then the video will be too long. So I'll give you my top 5, then we'll react to the video. Number 5. Memento. Number 4, Oppenheimer. Number 3, The Dark Knight. Number 2, Inception. And number 1, Interstellar. So let's see what Mr. Shapiro thinks.
Alrighty, folks, so as you know, I'm a big Christopher Nolan fanboy. Today, I'm going to go through my top 5 Christopher
I'm also a big Christopher Nolan fanboy.
Nolan films. This video is sponsored by ExpressVPN. So number 5 on my Christopher Nolan list is Oppenheimer, which just came out a couple of years ago. Oppenheimer is a masterpiece. Now, here's the thing. All the movies that I'm going to mention here are awesome.
Most of his movies are masterpieces.
They're all masterpieces. You should watch all of them repeatedly. Oppenheimer is a terrific film. It proved that Christopher Nolan can do a really character-driven piece. Now, the rap on Nolan was always that his movies are quite cold. I don't think that's actually true. I think that if you watch some of the other movies we'll get to on this list, they're not cold. But Oppenheimer is a detailed study without any sort of radical special effect. The first 45 minutes is the best 45 minutes of a movie about science ever, by far. It's like beautiful to watch. The score by Ludwig Göransson is really terrific. Cillian Murphy, who plays Robert Oppenheimer, the developer of the nuclear bomb in World War II, it's his story, and it's also juxtaposed with the attempt by the federal government to take away his security clearance because he was alleged to have been a traveler or member of the Communist Party. By the way, he was a fellow traveler and a member of the Communist Party. So actually, they probably should have removed his security clearance. The movie is based on a biography of Oppenheimer that tries to make the opposite case. There are historical problems with the film in that way. It's from a very pro-Oppenheimer perspective. It is a beautifully filmed piece. It's very clever in the way that it juxtaposes the past, which is 45, and the present, which is a couple of decades forward. The performances are stellar throughout. The direction is beautiful. It's a long movie. It runs about 3 hours, but it doesn't feel like it runs 3 hours. There's a reason it won all those awards. It's also that it won all those awards because that was the Academy recognizing that Nolan should have won a Best Director award in like 2008. I mean, they're about 20 years.
He should have won for Interstellar at the very least. Yeah, or like ages ago, Prestige, a bunch of films.
Late on this one. Number 4, Inception. A lot of people have this as their number 1 kind of personal favorite. My only problem with Inception, which is unbelievably clever, good score by Hans Zimmer, great performances throughout.
I went to the Hans Zimmer live show in Melbourne a few days ago, and I have the t-shirt actually. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's kind of ruined because I put it in the wash and it said not to do something. But anyway, yeah, huge Hans Zimmer fan as well.
Cillian Murphy appears in this also. They're sort of the Nolan favorites who appear in a wide variety of his films. My only problem with Inception is I believe that it went one layer too deep. The basic premise of the film is that you can actually delve into people's dreams, and it's sort of a heist movie, essentially. You have a team that's put together. Their goal is to incept an idea in the brain of the son of a magnate, of this industrial magnate, to get him to abandon a particular project. And so they have to go through all of these pretzel-like contortions in order to go layer upon layer through the memory. And there's a whole world that's set up with various sort of different layers of dreams, like dream within a dream. And that all is taking place in the same universe where Leonardo DiCaprio, whose wife committed suicide when she basically felt that she was living in a dream because the only way to get out of a dream is to die in the dream. He's trying to get home. So the whole question is whether he can get home. If he performs this heist, he can get home to his kid. It's really an unbelievably clever movie. It's an amazing movie in terms of the imagery. I mean, there's never been anything like it. It's so creative. It's wild. It's a fascinating film. It requires 2 or 3 watches to really sort of get all of it. It is complex and it moves all over the.
That's something that is true with a lot of Nolan movies. You have to watch it multiple times sometimes to really understand it, especially with something like Memento.
Place. The only reason it's not near the top of my list, it takes on sort of a video game vibe, particularly the lowest layer of the dream.
Or Tenet as well. Tenet is quite confusing, and
which is taking place in this sort of alpine area. It feels like that to me. But again, I understand why people disagree. We'll get to more of that in a moment. First, who knows you better than yourself? Your family, your friends.
Skip.
Making you internet provider. I mean, protect my data and private
Skip the ad.
/great movie. Great performances throughout. This is like
Prestige.
we go
I was
early
gonna
here.
say this.
Hey, The Prestige.
Yeah.
The Prestige is a great movie. Great performances throughout. This is like a great Christian Bale performance. It's a period thriller that's set in Edwardian London, where two rival magicians are basically fighting each other for supremacy. And one is played by Hugh Jackman, and the other is played by Christian Bale. And Christian Bale has this sort of one undefeated trick that Hugh Jackman, no matter what he does, cannot copy. And he goes through all these contortions. He meets Nikola Tesla, who is played by David Bowie, who comes up with a scientific contraption to help duplicate the trick. It's not quite the same trick. It creates all sorts of...
So it's definitely my top 10, but I find it really difficult to put it above because it's only my top 5. I can't replace it with The Dark Knight, and I can't replace it with Inception, and Interstellar is my number 1. So it's definitely my top 10, but it's hard to put it in the top 5 for me.
Weird consequences for the characters. What I love about The Prestige, more than many of the other sort of surprise ending films that you'll see, like Sixth Sense or something, every clue is in the film. Every clue. So if you're watching closely, the first time you see it, you can uncover what the trick is. But you actually have to be watching closely. You can get to the end and you can then rewatch the film and see where they planted every single thing. It's a really underrated film. Number 2. The Dark Knight. I know, you thought I was going to go number 1 for The Dark Knight, but you'll see why in a moment. So The Dark Knight, the greatest action film ever made, bar none, phenomenal film, great beginning to end. It moves like a bat out of hell. I mean, no pun intended. It really moves fast. It's beautifully cut. Like, the editing on Dark Knight is incredible. This is one of the few movies that I've ever seen where I waited in line at the theater the night that it came out to see it. The movie is weirdly underrated because everybody has seen it. And because it's become so iconic, it's sort of become a thing where people underrate how good the movie is. Like, everybody focuses on the Ledger performance and they miss how good the script is, how good the score is. Like, James Newton Howard, by the way, adds a lot to the score. It's Hans Zimmer and James Newton Howard. The two of them work better together than Zimmer just by himself. The only flaw in the film is that the final test that is set up by the Joker doesn't make sense to me. This has been my critique of The Dark Knight since I saw it. So the final test of the film is that he puts these two groups of people on a boat. One is felons and one is innocent people. He gives each one of them a trigger to a bomb on the other boat. And his idea is that human beings are naturally animalistic and cannibalistic, and so they will blow up each other's boats, is the idea. And in the end, neither blows up the other boat. If I'm on the innocent people boat, I blow up that boat without a moment's hesitation. That boat is gone. And the reason it's gone is for preemption. Am I gonna trust the rapists and murderers on the other boat not to hit the button? That would be crazy of me. Totally crazy of me. That aside, the film is obviously terrific. Okay, finally.
Okay.
Number 1.
We have the same number 1, I think. Yes, Interstellar.
Interstellar. I know it's a polarizing pick. Some people hate it. I am a great lover of Interstellar. I think
And those people are wrong.
Interstellar is spectacular. I think the imagery is unparalleled. The various planets they go to is unbelievable. The water planet scene is crazy. This is easily Zimmer's best score. Like, what Zimmer does here is actually really, really cool. He does a bunch of things that are really cool. He uses an organ and a
Hans Zimmer is an absolute genius.
lot of the scoring. The part of the movie that people, for some reason, do not like is the part of the movie that I like the best, which is the part where Matt Damon appears. So there's been a prior mission from Earth. The whole premise of the film, Interstellar, if you have not seen it, is that Earth is essentially dying, and we are going to do the Elon Musk thing. We're going to put everybody on giant spaceships. We're going to get them out into space, but we were trying to find an inhabitable planet somewhere, and a wormhole has opened that allows us to get to another galaxy so that we can find an inhabitable planet. And Matthew McConaughey's leading the crew, and Hathaway's on the crew as well, and they're going planet to planet in search of some place that is inhabitable. They've gotten a signal from one of the prior astronauts that one of these planets is inhabitable and usable. And it's this giant ice planet. They get there, and Matt Damon, who is the prior astronaut, has decided that saving his life is more important effectively than saving anything else. And so he has called them there knowing that this planet is not inhabitable, so that they will pick him up off the planet and he will be able to continue with the mission. A whole sort of dramatic thing ensues. This vision of humanity I like much better. So there's actually sort of a contrast in this vision of humanity in Interstellar and the vision of humanity in Dark Knight. So in Dark Knight, humans are inherently good and won't blow each other up on boats. In Interstellar, human beings are so venal and corrupt that they'll literally call people from the other side of the galaxy to go save them if they feel their life is in danger, even if they've already vowed that they're going to give up their life in pursuit of the best for humanity. I tend to think the Interstellar take is more correct on a generalized level. It's a great movie. Now, does the ending make a ton of sense? I understand that people have problems with the ending. I get it. I won't spoil it for you if you haven't seen it, but the imagery is amazing. It's actually the best depiction on film of a black hole ever filmed. According to physicists, it's really cool. Should have won Best Picture, no question, in 2014. No question, should have won Best Picture that year. Again, Interstellar is my number one. But again, there are a bunch of movies I haven't even mentioned here. Following, which is his first film in 1998, which is this really, really kind of neat little neo-noir crime thriller. The budget on it was $6,000. It was $6,000. He and a bunch of his friends took a camera and went and made this film. It's like 70 minutes long. And it's a really good little film, which shows you a great director is a great director regardless of budget constraints. Memento, of course, in 2000, which is the one that kind of brought him to the film scene in a bigger way. That's a great movie with Guy Pearce. Then he made Insomnia. Still a good film. It's a little bit weaker than some, but it's because he didn't write it. Then you get In a Row, Batman Begins, The Prestige, The Dark Knight, Inception, The Dark Knight Rises, Interstellar, Dunkirk, Tenet, and Oppenheimer. That is a wild run. That is a wild run. That's like maybe the best run in movie history. It's either that or Spielberg, late 70s to mid 80s. Those are the only two real competitors for that. Maybe William Wyler in the 40s. His next movie is The Odyssey. Matt Damon is Odysseus. So will I watch that? You bet I'll watch that. Are you kidding? Again, there are very few directors where I will legitimately wait for their films to come out. Nolan is one of them. Alrighty, that is my top five. Leave your top five in the comments.
I'll leave my top 5 in this video. Alright, well, is there anything else? Yeah, I mean, I have a different top 5 from some of them are similar, but a different order, and we both have the first movie as the same, Interstellar. And we both have Oppenheimer and The Dark Knight. He put in Prestige instead of something else that I put in. I forgot already. What did I say? Memento. Yeah, he acknowledged Memento in the at the end here. Yeah. Memento is or was the first film that got me into Nolan, so I might be a little bit biased there. And obviously it's a masterpiece. All of them are, yes, especially in the top 5. Just, yeah, I could talk about it for a while, so if I am gonna make a separate, more in-depth video about it, then I will do that because there's a lot to talk about with Christopher Nolan films, but I don't want to drag this out for too long. So, alright, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.